Hello everybody, this is Jesus and Me Forever coming to you with another update. We've had a long day today. I didn't get much sleep last night. After the 3 o'clock deal, I tried to go to bed and our dog came and jumped on the chair. And the weird thing is she just sat there and just kind of started shivering. And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm like, what is going on? So I start feeling her and she's really hot. And I sat there and she was just really lethargic and really began to scare me. And I had no idea what was going on. And so I sat there with her and just kind of held her for a while. And she just didn't do much. And then she hopped down after a little bit and wanted to go out. So I let her out. She came back in and it's like I came over to do some stuff on the computer because by that time I'm like, I'm not going to bed. She didn't want to get in my lap. She didn't want to lay down. So I'm just kind of watching her and doing, going back and forth on the computer. And she went into her cage and I'm like, okay. So I didn't worry about her because she generally goes in there when she's not feeling good and just kind of lays down. And then she came out and went up to Christina. And then Christina comes in all in a huff. Mom, is everything okay with Gracie? And I'm like, no, she's not feeling good. I don't know what's going on. And I was trying to research stuff, to try and figure out what was going on. So Christina sat in the chair and rocked her for a while. And I'm looking stuff up and I'm not finding anything. And then I remembered her whenever I came in earlier in the day. I remembered that she was behind the chair and looking guilty. How dogs will do, oh, I got into something. Uh-oh, I've been caught. She had that kind of a look. So I'm like, I better go see what she had behind the chair. So I go over there and there's about that much left of a ham bone that was about 2 to 3 times that size. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I ought to check and see if, what kind of what ham might do to dogs, because I never worried about it before, but I never really, we've given smaller ham bones before, not gigantic ones like that one was, but so I really didn't know. And so I looked it up and sure enough, ham is not good for dogs. And I'm like, oh, great. So I'm like, all right, are we going to slowly watch her pass away in front of us or what's going to go on? I really did not know. And I was just like, okay, Lord, you're going to have to give us wisdom. And Christina had the forethought to look for veterinarians and 24-hour veterinarians. And so I'm like, okay, she found one and called and was talking to them. Well, while she's doing that, Gracie's in her cage throwing up. And we're both kind of like looking at each other like, oh, great, what's going to happen? Is she going to just convulse, in the cage? What? We just really did not know. And all this stuff with added on top of Jonathan and Terry, it was just like, okay, what next, Lord? I know this is another attack, but each attack is so different from before. It's like I'm just kind of like in it's like out of the blue. And so she gets so Sarah pulls her after she's done. Sarah pulls her deal out and Gracie's just kind of walking around. She's not doing too bad now, and she goes over and gets some water. And Sarah goes, Mom, you she threw up quite a bit, and what do you want me to do with it? You want me to throw it in the trash? And I said, I might ought to take a look at that just to see what she ate. And in the meantime, Christina has finally gotten a hold of the 24-hour vet and is telling them what's going on. And I tell Sarah, bring me that stuff. So I get out the tweezers and I'm finding all kinds of junk in there. And sure enough, there's about a cup of ham that this puppy dog has thrown up. And for a small Jack Russell Terrier, that's a lot. So, and I'm pulling not only, I'm not just looking at ham, but there's also like plastic in there. And I'm like, what was she doing eating plastic? I'm like, so, she I don't know what that dog was thinking yesterday, but she ate some weird stuff. So anyway, Christina handed the phone over to me, and I told the vet what was in what she regurgitated. And the vet's like, okay, well, just kind of watch her, because it doesn't, if she's doing better, then just kind of keep an eye on her. If you feel like you need to, most definitely take her to your vet in the morning. And we said, yeah, because we're over an hour away from you guys. I mean, it's a long way to the vet that Christina called. So we're like, thank you very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. And we kind of watched her. In the meantime, Christina's on, I don't know, some chat room or something, asking people, what can you do for this and blah, blah, blah. And she got some suggestions back. And I'd forgotten about this, but bread actually kind of will soak up, junk that's in the stomach and allow it to pass out. So she gave her some bread, and she ate that down, and she started perking up, drinking more water, and actually acting more like herself. So I finally crawled into bed about 6:15 in the morning. I'm like, well, at least, 20, 30 minutes worth of sleep time is better than none. So I crawled in, and alarm rang at 6:50, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready for this day. So I promptly turn it off and crawl back into bed and try to sleep. And by that time, everybody's starting to get up, and I'm like, okay, may as well get up. So I got up, got all my stuff ready, and of course Jonathan's kind of taking his time. So it was Christina, those two take. I know that if I've got to be anywhere in a hurry, start them at least half an hour or more early, because they're as bad as I am, if not worse. I've gotten much better over the years, but anyway, onward. So we get ready for school, and we finally walk out the door about 7:45. And I drop Jonathan and Christina off at school, and Sarah, and I head to my job for the day. And we go through all of the stuff, and I'm still, throughout this day, I've really almost felt nauseated. It's been weird, because I almost felt like I was going to throw up, but it's not quite like that. It's just constant nausea, I guess is the best way of putting it. Chronic, whatever you want to call it. So even now, I've eaten because I know I need to eat, but I had some eggs, and that's been pretty much my supper, and water. And so, my daughter brought me over some chocolate covered almonds that she'd gotten at a truck stop one time. So it's like, that's been my meal for the night, and that's about it. And Jonathan's, it's been a long day. Like I said, he came home about noon. Daddy went and picked him and Christina up. They came home at noon, and they slept until I got home. And then Jonathan wasn't feeling real good, and throughout the night he just continued to feel worse. And finally ended up throwing up, and a good amount of throw up. And the rest of this night he has not felt good at all. Now, one of the things that Daddy took note of is Jonathan got a milkshake for lunch. And I know that people who have milk allergies, have a lot of issues like that. Or, might be, I'd heard of somebody throwing up at one time that was allergic to milk. So we're kind of wondering and thinking, has he developed a lactose intolerance? And this is something we just need to kind of pay attention to. So we're going to kind of watch him over the next few days, see how he does, because the hospital called us back, the OU Med Center. They said, right now, as long as he's doing fine and not having any difficulties, just you've got an appointment set up for the 15th of next month. Just be there at this time. And we're like, okay, cool. So apparently it wasn't too serious, or they would have already called us back and said, get him back here or whatever. As it is, they're just saying, we'd like you to come back, in a month and for a checkup, just to make sure he's doing okay. So we'll see how our endeavors towards trying to figure this out go, because there has to be something underlying that's causing him to feel the way he is. And if it's milk, that can be changed. I mean, people get lactose intolerant, and you just got to change your thinking and do something different. And maybe that's what it is. We just, at this moment, we just really don't know. So we'll take one step at a time. Still walking through this fun journey. And thank you guys so much. Thank you very, very much for taking time to watch these and just listen to how he's doing and stuff. And we'll keep posting updates, and hopefully here in the next week or so I will start posting some fun videos of us doing like cookies and things like this, because I'd like to do that and just share the fun part of what we do. And Christina did some chocolates the other day and did a really good job, but I don't think they took any videos of it. I could take pictures of it, but no videos. So, and it's one of the things that whenever Christina and Anthony were real little, we used to do a lot. I used to love to decorate chocolates. And I mean literally hand decorate, hand paint little chocolates. I would get white chocolate and I would color it, and I would do all kinds of different colors. I mean, I have just about every color that Wilton makes, because I would use the Wilton colors to color the white chocolate. And I mean, I used to have some beautiful scenery, and it's all still out there in the shed. Christina found a few molds, and so that's what they used. But I mean, it kind of makes me want to get busy and do it again. I used to start in like November, and I would paint from November up till the week before Christmas. And I would just paint chocolates. I would have like a gallon of chocolates at a time that, you know, I would do up, and people just loved them. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing them. But I just, over the years, life gets busy. And when you have kids, it's not as easy, especially when you have two little kids. It definitely is not easy to do a lot of painting, and because they get into it, and then it's like, okay, this isn't working real well. Chocolate all over the face, not much in the mold. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work good. So anyway, we may have to try that sometime, and I'll take videos or pictures or something and just kind of share with you how I used to do it. If not, I'll have some kind of cookies up or something, and just try and relearn how to use the magics and see if I can't get it working better. Because I have several videos that I had put on my phone, but just none would work. And I couldn't get any pictures to load up correctly. Whenever I would try to load it onto the YouTube wouldn't work. And my friend, literally, sweetheart that she is, thank you, Candy. She posted me a video the other day, and she goes, this is how I do it. And I mean, she literally walked me through step by step. So I've got high hopes. I just have to have the time to do it, which I haven't lately. When you sleep little, you get very tired during the day and you just want to sleep. So I did a little bit of that today. I didn't sleep a lot, but I did sleep a little so that I wouldn't be totally worn out. And if you hear a little ooh in the background, that's Jonathan. Well, I can't do it there. There he is. He's in the chair. He's not feeling very good, so he's probably going to sleep up here tonight. I'm going to go to the back, just, you know, see if that won't help him to feel better. So anyway, everybody have a great day and a great night. Thank you all so very much for listening, for just being there for us. We so appreciate it. And thank you so very much for your prayers, because God is giving us wisdom. It's just we have to listen. And that's where we're at right now, is we're listening to him and saying, okay, God, what's our next step? So just thank you for joining us on this journey, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Merry Christmas to everybody, and we'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.